Hello and welcome to the full-on tutorial of how to use the tracked learning program. This program is aimed to help you, special ed teachers, trying to be intentional and maximize your time with your students. I know it's super important, and as an educator who's been in special ed for about a decade, I've struggled so much with trying to get daily, weekly, monthly data and not just scrambling at the last second right before progress reports and report cards to get the data I need. And then when I do get that data, I'm only getting one piece of data to then report on how a student or students are progressing towards their IEP goals. So tracked learning was birthed out of a necessity and an urge to be efficient and to be more intentional with my students so that I can design better, especially design instruction and be with them more. Because the more time I spend with them, the more they grow. The more time I'm doing paperwork, the less time I'm with them, the more my groups are canceled. So I want to be with them, I want to work with them, and I want to help them progress as much as I can. Therefore, here comes tracked learning. And the more we've met with people, the more we've helped, or we've gotten more feedback to help design this to be more user functional, to be easily accessible no matter your technological level. But if you need help, here's this video for it. So when you first log in, you'll notice you are on the schedule page. The schedule page is where I can quickly schedule a group of students, add them, let's just say from 1:30 until 2:45. I add them to my schedule. And here are those 3 students that I have. You'll notice that they're each different colors. That can be done on the caseload page. Once I click on a particular student, it pulls up, in this case, Allie here. Here are all of Allie's goals. And just in short, we call these target skills. What are we focusing on for this student at that time? This doesn't happen all the time, but it is user-friendly on your phone or your computer. So when this group of kids comes in, I open up my computer and I try to get to this, but I try to make sure it doesn't impede the learning of the student. So I try to do it while I can. And sometimes I'm able to get some days I get no information, but at least now, instead of just guessing and having a pretty good idea where my students are, I'm able to use concrete numbers that I pull while working with them. So, I'm walking around, Allie's doing some independent work and I'm, hey, Allie, what letter is this? Perfect. Yes, yes, yes. What letter is that? Nope, nope. Yes, yes, nope. It doesn't mark how many times letters I asked her, which letters I asked her. I could add that, down here, and then I could say, nope, she missed those ones. So I could have additional information if I wanted, but at least it's giving me a concrete percentage. And if you hold it down, it deletes it. And I'll show you where both these comments and these percentages materialize and where it actually, the program graphs it for you and stores all this information on Allie's individual learning profile. So if I click any of the other kids, it'll pull up their goals if they have any. Any comments I write here is going to go to the student you're on. Any global comments, say you gave a verbal short vowel assessment, they all pass. Instead of typing that on each kid's profile, I type it once, it goes to every kid scheduled at that time. So here you can only schedule 1,000 appointments at once. So this day took 3 appointments. So if I did a reoccurring appointment 3 times however many days, it shouldn't be an issue. You should get multiple months at a time with a group of 8 kids even. So you shouldn't have to worry. You can create groups so that you can access them at a later time instead of having to type the kids each time. So you can quickly pull up a group and get moving. Any day you pull up on here is going to be that scheduled day. You can minimize it so you can see just the kids that you have for today. You can bring it back up so that you can add goals just as easy. You can also edit any of the groups that you have. You can change their colors. You can change their names. You can also look at your month in a view by clicking your name and then calendar. You can cycle through the months as needed. You notice any IEP dates, eval, events that you personally add by just clicking. Planning meetings or birthdays that you enter into the caseload will pop up so you can see a bigger picture of what you have coming up so you can stay on track of holding and administering really quality IEP meetings that are efficient. That is the schedule page. The caseload page is where a lot of features are placed and where a lot of work is going to be done on this program besides the daily tracking on the schedule page. So you're going to add students just by, say, John Doe, press enter. That student is now entered in the system for you. You can click any of these at the top and it's going to organize it however you see fit. But you can also go ahead and format, and you can just have the information that you do or do not want, hit submit, and you can notice my caseload page has drastically changed. We wanted to make this user-friendly. So you add Donald here, say you messed up his name, and it actually has all these other letters. Well, it is now automatically saved. I can add or delete anything I want to any of these boxes. Well, this one you choose the grade level, and it's going to automatically change it for you. So say you had the eval today, it's now due 3 years from now. Boom, done, saved. You don't have to click a million things to get to where you need to be. The action page is where you can also set a class password so students can take an assessment at trackedlearning.com/assess. And this is where they'll use their student ID, and you can either do a class password and student password. A lot of people just do a class password because it's one password for all their students on their caseload. Some people have made an assessment password and given each individual student their own password, but it seems like a lot to have to keep track of. When you click on students, that's where you're also going to be able to assign a quick assessment. And we have a video explaining each and every one of these. But a quick assessment, open assessments, you can replicate target skills or IEP goals. You can share amongst tracked learning teacher accounts. You can print data, and you can also delete students if you need to. So go ahead and check out those videos to learn how to use those more in depth and more easily to benefit you. So that is how to add students. You can click on this student tab to quickly find a student and get to their page. But while you're on your caseload, it might be better than having to scroll through depending how big your caseload is. But this icon on the left is also a way to get directly to an individual student learning profile. And this is the student tab. So here we have demographics. Again, these are all drop-down menus, so you can see or not see the information you need when you need it. Don't clutter your brain. Focus on what you need for a kid. Student goals. And again, there's a video on this entire page itself, super in depth, how to add goals, pick assessment questions, flip through and add the information to make the goal specific to a kid, how to change, delete wording, delete a goal, add objectives, or click if it's mastered or not. See their assessment information. You can, and these two are the ones that are generated from the schedule page. So this one is the percentages. And you can notice you can also do it here if you don't have groups. Daily progress notes, you would just select the date range for which you want. So if we just went to the beginning of January, you hit submit, it's going to pull up every note that you have of that kid. Accommodations page, if you add one, you can also edit and make a specific note and hide it. You can also add your own option if that is needed and we don't have one that fits your needs or your students. And you can also archive. Again, all of this information is in a how-to video. All how-to videos are going to be found here on the How Do I section. Assessments page, this is every assessment you've had Track Learning create for you. And you'll notice under each one of these assessments is also where you can find, okay, end of the year 2022 progress reports. I actually had the computer create roughly 30 assessments for me, and I can access each one of those. You can organize in folders by grade, content area, anything that you need that helps you access and navigate your data and information. We want to make that as functional for you as possible. The community page, it's important to us to house a place, not a separate app or another location where you have anyone and their mother telling you what you should or shouldn't do. This is a place of just special ed teachers, people that understand you, live in your shoes or similar to your shoes, and help provide feedback, advice, encouragement, a listening ear. And this is also a place to ask questions and provide feedback to us because we are listening to you and we want to hear what you guys have. You need goals added. You don't like the certain colors. You need features added in different places so that you can speed up and cut those seconds off of your time to make this easier for you to use to be more intentional and maximize that time with each of your kids on your caseload. So feedback, advice page, place to ask us specific questions, but also a place to connect with other people across the world that are using this program. I have a fifth grader, Johnny, I guess you can't say names. You can say, I have a fifth grader. I've tried XYZ, ABC. He's still biting all the kids and the adults. What advice do people have? Someone could say, oh, I had a fourth grader doing that. Have you tried this? Have you tried that? Have you tried this other thing? And now it's giving us information in ways we're already on this. We're taking data. We're keeping track of our kids. Now we have a place on the same thing where we can cycle through all this stuff, where we can now connect with other people and get an idea and help support us, because special ed teachers don't have enough time. That's why we struggle. We don't have enough time to meet the needs of kids. We don't have time to take data. This helps us do that. So now we want to provide also the thing all of us crave, which is community with other people, so that we can connect and make our jobs better, the lives of our children easier, and so that they can focus on what's most important, and that's learning how to learn. The alerts tab, so anything you've added to evaluation day, IEP, your own personal events or planning meetings on the caseload or on the calendar under your name will pop up. We're going to also set this up so it reminds you today or tomorrow, within a week, within the next month, or never. So you can say, okay, hey, next month I have 3 IEPs due. Oh no, Johnny's IEPs next week. I need to make sure to confirm with parents or family that they're still available. I need to make sure to check in with all the IEP team members, make sure they're available. So we're trying to help keep you from running around like a chicken with its head cut off, and just organize it and help remind you to stay on top of being efficient. We added a sticky note function so you can add or delete anything that you need when you need it, but it's all hidden. So now your desk is clutter free to help you focus on working with those kids, but then being able to pull it up when you need to. This is going to take you directly to the post of someone that responded back to you. And you'll notice that all of these take me to a specific post, and it shows all the responses to that post. So that won't pop up unless we send out an update to the entire Track Learning community, or someone comments on something that you're engaged in. Over here on your name is where you're going to find all the how do I's. We're going to have a list of videos here, but there's also descriptions for each of the tabs at the top here to tell you kind of how to navigate or use them to their fullest. This is also where you're going to see your calendar, your membership. You're going to be able to edit your profile or you log out. Down here, you'll notice there is a spot to privately message me or my partner at Track Learning to ask us a question, specifically if you need to not wait for us to respond on the community page and you want it to directly come to our email. So thank you again for watching. Please access our how-to videos. Please reach out and do not hesitate to ask questions. We want to work with you. We want to make this a better design program for each and every one of you, which means it takes all of us to do that. So please reach out, ask questions, share this with your other SPED coworkers. And if you feel like this is something you want to implement in your school, please email us down here or at info@tracklearning.com. We'd love to schedule a private Zoom with you and your school, you and your district, and get this implemented district-wide to help all of you make your lives easier and be more intentional with each and every one of your kids. We appreciate you and thank you again